Kia ora, and welcome to another How To Plus Q&A event. My name is Anna Mari Vanthorpe, and I'm your host as usual. Now, today we have a returning guest, Jam from Conversologie is here today, and we're really looking forward to having her join us and talking about the basics of chat marketing with Facebook Messenger and Instagram. So this is a whole new realm that you can access and use in order to engage with your clientele and kind of promote some of your items that you have or continue conversation and nurture leads. So we're going to delve into this topic today, but I want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So no matter what platform you are streaming from, it might be YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, because these sessions are available on all of those platforms with our Digital Boost handles. So if you prefer using them, please feel free to switch over. You can still ask questions using the chat function and the comment sections on those platforms. So if you're here with us on Zoom, you can use the Q&A section or the chat function. And I'm going to be monitoring the questions throughout the session. Jim, last time, I believe, answered questions throughout, and I'm sure we're going to do that again. But make the session bespoke to you. And you do that by asking questions that'll help your business, because that's why we're here. Now, just a little service announcement. Two things. One, if you want, we have the Digital Boost Live app is now live. So you can download it in the Google Play Store or in the Apple Store. So get it, because not only do you get your full learning journey and everything on there, you also get access to podcasts, which we have recorded. There's 6 podcasts on there currently, and you can add events to your calendar, and you get updates, app notifications on new content and competitions that we're running. And speaking of competitions, there is one running right now. It's called Boost Your Office or Boost My Office. I'm just going to get my paper. I don't want to forget anything. Boost My Office. It's going to be running till the 11th of October. Okay. You win a Mac Pro, a screen, a desk, and a package from Zero. And the whole thing kind of has about $4,000 worth of value. And the way that you can enter is by logging on to Digital Boost or registering for Digital Boost, and then going in and signing up for the comp. It's as easy as that. It gets you some points. Now, if you refer it out on different platforms that this comp is happening and people sign up to it, you get points as well. So this is a really cool opportunity for you to win a whole new setup for your business. And who doesn't want that? So take advantage of these comps. They're for you. And I know that I'd be totally stoked if I could win something like that. Jim, thanks so much for joining us today. Sorry about the little bit of a longer intro, but it's just such a great competition. I just sometimes people don't open their email or like miss it. And I would hate for somebody to miss it that's really needing a new computer or a desk or something and wanted to enter.
Awesome. Hey, I heard about the app, so I haven't downloaded it, so I'll download it after the session.
Download the app, Digital Boost Live. It's when you look for it, it's like a pinky red color. You'll see it, and you just sign in once, and once you've signed in, you've got access to all of your current learnings plus these extra features. So it's really cool, accessible, on the go. That's what we want.
Fantastic. Hey, thank you for having me back. And I love doing this and stuff, and saying hi to those in the Zoom room, from Tony and Wood J and so on. Thanks for joining us as well. Do you want me to start sharing my screen?
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to address this question because it says I tried to enter the competition, but it's only for new members. It's not only for new members. You get automatically entered into the competition when you kind of log into Digital Boost. That gives you one login, and then I was told that you just go to the sign up page and you sign in and you sign up there, and that's on the main dashboard. So after you log into your Digital Boost account, go to the sign in page, and if you have any issues with registering for this competition, just contact support at digitalboost.co.nz. You have a right to have access to this competition, and we want to make sure that you get that access. So please, everyone is welcome to it, not just new members. So take advantage. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and share your screen, Jam.
Cool, awesome. And I will multitask here and see how this goes.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah, Zoom. I should be good at Zoom already.
Well, I'll tell you what was
point.
really funny when we had Apple on, because they've got their own platform, you know, Google Meet. They never and Google Hangout, you know, they don't ever use Zoom. So they were like really struggling with Zoom, and it was really refreshing to watch some pretty techie people struggle with a platform, to be honest. So do not feel any fear, you know, not everybody uses Zoom, and we understand that. I'm going to drop my video off and make sure everything's running in the background. You're very welcome, Tony. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. And yes, just the back of that, I am actually a Google Meet person more, so I still struggle with Zoom. So I just use it just to attend and well do this. So hello everyone, morning, or if you are, just in case not in New Zealand, hello. And thanks for taking the time to join today, you know, about chat marketing. For those who do not know me, my name is Jam Mayer. I've been in the digital space for about 20 years already, started as a blogger, went to site development and so on and so forth. My passion really is mentoring and guidance. So I'm more of a strategist for marketing managers and business owners. I'm an analyst, so I love looking at numbers. And of course, I also am a trainer. So basics of chat marketing. There's a lot, because there are about, quite a few people in the Zoom room. I will do my best if I can open up the chat without losing my screen, but I would love to know if you could just type it in, or maybe if you're on Facebook watching, Anna Maria might need your help here. But I would love to know if you've heard of chat marketing or chat bot marketing, or because there's a lot of, I guess, negative perception around chat bots, because, you know, especially if you're using Instagram, when you say chat bot, people think it's actually a bot. If it's on Facebook Messenger, again, through the years, we've seen a lot of negative perception, like, I don't want to talk to a chat bot. I don't want to talk to someone on Messenger, for example, right? I want to talk to a human being. So I just wanted to put it out there, and I'll look through the chat probably later, but this is exactly, I wanted to show you that this is the environment at the moment. However, don't want to start on a negative. The positive there is, it's actually how you build those conversation flows so that people actually love your chatbot or love your chat marketing. And then they will use it even more, so that you don't spend hours on end trying to answer the same question over and over again, which is one of the many reasons why you should use chat marketing. Cool. Okay. Let me just go to the chat here. Just wanted to see if I can turn that on. Brett, all new to me, never heard of it. Okay, awesome. Cool.
Yep, and there's another one. Sure we'll be using it both live and in an automated way. Cool, Lara. I'm actually just jumping. I'm getting everything working on Facebook, so I'll tune back in when it's running. But I haven't. You know, you've got to open everything.
Yep. Yep. No worries. I call yourself like a chess master, Anna Maria, because you've got all these things that you're trying to manage. Okay, so this very, very quickly. You might have seen this before. To Hootsuite and We Are Social, they do send out or publish, I should say, the digital report. This is global, but this is specifically for New Zealand. The latest was January 2021. There are quarterly reports, but just to show you that some people are still asking whether it is worth trying chat marketing. Yes, because here in New Zealand, just this year, number 3, a lot of people use it, right? I don't have to go through it anymore, but that's just my point. And because Instagram has opened up the channel to DM automation, they don't want to use chatbots, because again, a lot of people think Instagram, you say bot, oh my gosh, no, I don't want bots. So DM automation, they've just opened up very recently, right? And number 4 is actually Instagram. So just to give you a sense of the users here in New Zealand. And another thing that you have to realize as well is the reality is, we are already in the answer economy. Okay, what that means is that most of us are time poor. Gosh, I'm time poor. And we don't have the time to go through help articles, or even go through the website to find an answer. So sometimes businesses, depending, especially if you're a small business, you get rattled and overwhelmed when you've got all these same questions over and over again. And you go, well, hang on, it's already on the website. Can you please go there and be proactive and go to the website? But the reality is people want the answers automatically now, right? They are not patient. And I've seen a lot of, over the years, I've seen a lot of comments from business owners saying, oh, you know, they don't understand, you know, they have to blah, etc. Sure, no problem. But that's just the way it is right now. It's just because there's so many channels right now that they can go to ask their question, and they want it now, okay? The positive thing about that is when someone actually wants the answer now, that is a great indication that they have this strong intent to buy. So you really actually want to have these people going into your messenger or DMing you on Instagram and asking all these questions, because obviously they are wanting to get pricing, they want to get, you know, shipping and stuff. So if you answer immediately, or at least have something, your digital assistant to help half of the time, then that's great, right? If you're a business in a competitive market, then being able to have a channel for them to get answers as soon as possible can actually make the difference. If you have an audience that is within the younger demographic, this is good to use, because believe it or not, they don't really do email. They are on their phones most of the time, chatting and texting. So they're already on Messenger, already on WhatsApp, they're already on Instagram, talking to their friends, etc. And that's how they inquire brands or inquire, you know, anything about your services or your products. So you have to also look at that. Or perhaps you're in a, your business is seasonal, where you expect a lot of queries, you know, and orders and follow-ups, etc. Christmas is coming, so this is actually a good time to learn this. And this is where one can just wait. So again, that difference. So expectations are higher to get the answer immediately. So, okay, Jam, cool. Looks like I'm probably in, but I don't know when and where to actually use it. Now, there are a lot of help articles out there. There are a lot of tools out there. The thing that I'm going to show you is more long-term. You can test it in certain areas and do short-term tactics. Sure, you can do that as a test. But what I'll show you is basically an example on how you can do this in all of the stages of your customer's journey. Depending on how many videos you've watched, or in Digital Boost, or maybe you've had some, you know, you've attended some of the past speakers, but there are a lot of customer journeys. If you've heard of it, then you could actually think, oh, is that the same as a funnel? Yes, it's pretty much commonly the same. The way we see it is really more on, well, this circle. There's always a conversation happening within the stages of the customer journey. Now I'll explain a little bit, because the terms might be different, but they're quite the same. Awareness, as we know, is when people don't know, your brand has never heard of you, and you are doing something so that they know you exist. Affinity is, in social most especially, is very important. This is really plugged in. It's because this is when you have your likes, but they don't really know anything, and you're not so sure whether they're actually wanting to buy or not. So they kind of like your brand, they like the video, they like the content, but they're not there yet. Consumption is obviously when they start evaluating your services and your products, and just seeing, you know, looking at the competitors, etc. So they're consuming the content that you're giving them. Whether or not they have the intent to buy is still the question. So in between that, before conversion, is the intent. And then conversion, as we know, could be sales. It could also be a sign up to a newsletter if you're into B2B, for example. And then there's retention. So my point here is chat marketing can be used in all of these stages. And I'll break it down for you so that it doesn't, it might seem like it's overwhelming. The important thing is, and I always tell my clients, is know your objective. Don't just use chat marketing because it's the latest and greatest. If that's your reason, I will tell you right now, don't do it because you might fail. I say might. More often than not, people fail when they're just doing it just for the heck of it. If you want to test it, sure, but you should still know what your objective should be, right? Okay, keep it simple. So let's say I've never had cocoa tea or chocolate tea, but I think last month or before lockdown, this recent lockdown, I went to a commercial building and I was waiting for a client to arrive for a meeting, and they offered chocolate tea or cocoa tea, right? I'm like, I never had that. Okay. Now, obviously that's a brick and mortar setting, but let's pretend you own a business that has or offers chocolate tea. How do you use chat marketing then? Okay. So let's do it per stage, right? For awareness, so the objective is to get them to see and tell them, look, we have chocolate tea, right? Or this could also be for your customers. So they already know your brand or they know your business, but this is a new thing that you want to offer them. So it is also awareness. So what you can do is you can start with a messenger ad. It's Facebook, right? A messenger ad, if you're not sure what it is, it's basically the ads that you see. I'm sure you've seen one, but instead of a button that goes learn more, when you click on it is message us or contact us or whatever. So there is that icon. That what happens is that when you click on that, instead of commenting or go to another website, for example, it will open up your chat, right? Your messenger chat. That means that business is going to be talking to you one-on-one. And depending on what the conversation is, then that's another story. So let's go back. So you're offering chocolate tea. You turn on your you create or you run a messenger ad campaign, right? And then they click on that, and then you've got them onto Messenger. So in this case, so that you don't annoy them, always set that expectation that when you click on that button, you will actually get to talk to us. And then with the automation, all you have to do is just to give them the generic info, just to gauge your interest. Because the top reason people will just turn off and block you and you can never send them messages anymore is that when you start giving them conversations like, here you go, here's chocolate tea, buy now, da 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 da. Dude, I just saw your chocolate tea. Hang on, I'm not ready to buy first. So objective, generic info, just tell them more about the tea, and then just give them information, just little information that this is chocolate tea, and get them to decide, like any conversation, right? They're going to be hesitant. Let them decide on what to do next. So that's what the conversation flow is going to be like. You could, at some point, invite them to follow your page. Some people say, well, how can I actually increase my followers, right? For example, on Facebook or even on Instagram. This is one way of doing it within your conversation, within the chat flow. You can then at the end, it's like, hey, this is the information. Thanks for clicking. If you'd like, please follow our page and so on, and leave it at that. Don't bombard them anymore. That's it. It could also be a chance for you to invite them to, if you are a B2B, for example, a company, then you can ask them to subscribe to your mailing list. Or even e-commerce. It's like, hey, if you want to know more about the tea or any of our products, give them a chance to actually subscribe. Then the great thing is it's omni-channel now, so you get them, into the email side of things. Affinity. This is where you've got people liking your content, liking your tea. Ooh, it looks interesting, but I don't know if I still really want to buy your tea. So this is when you can probably have a giveaway or maybe a competition. right? So you've got all these people liking your page, you've got, you know, a little bit of engagement. So this is where chat marketing can come in, and you can use the keywords or comments feature. What that means is that when you've got a post saying, we've got a giveaway, we're going to give you a pack of tea bags for chocolate tea for your home, and we can ship it to you for free, or a chance to win, whatever it may be, right? All you have to do is say, if you're interested, can you please type in the comments chocolate tea? It doesn't really matter, or giveaway. You get to choose what those keywords are. What happens is then it opens up again their messenger, and you can create a conversation flow saying, great, love, we're excited to actually send a bunch of or a pack of our chocolate tea, or a chance to win, so on and so forth. And this is where you can then ask them more information. Can I have your email? We want, obviously, the address so we can send it. And people will there's an objective, right? So they will willingly talk to you and talk to the chatbot and give the information because they know there is an endpoint. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I'm not so sure if there are any questions, Anamari, from before I move on to the next few slides.
Nothing on Zoom yet. And as I've just been kind of trailing back and forth, we're still good on the other platforms. So, you know, a lot of times it's just pretty comprehensive, and we're just here to listen along until something pops into our head. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, all good, all good.
Perfect.
Cool. So we go now to consumption / conversation. I call it conversation in terms of stages. Some people would say it's more when people are consuming your content. I see it as when they are really consuming the content and the information you send them. That means they're more interested, and they really, really want to start asking you questions, right? Now, let's go back to the giveaway. Let's say they get the giveaway, and part of the, I don't know, your mechanics, there you go, is that when they arrive, so when they get, right, the free tea bags or the pack, say, look, maybe it would be great if you can mention your, our Instagram profile. So this is where chat marketing, this is very new, where you can have the IG or Instagram story mention set up automatically. What that means, this is a bit tricky because obviously not everyone who's going to be attending the giveaway will be mentioning your profile. But then again, you can make it as generic as possible, or turn it off and turn it on again, depends. So let's just pretend the giveaway is there. I receive your chocolate tea. I'm on Instagram, I take a picture of it, or I take a picture of me drinking it. And so I was like, oh, this is so yummy, etc. Then when I tag you on the story, what happens is, again, automated. Instead of you saying, have you ever had that? Because I have, wherein when someone mentions you in the story and you just miss it because you're just so busy in your business, and then a week later you go, oh crap, someone actually tagged me, and you didn't even say thanks. And that's a no-no, because the fact that people will spend the time to take a picture or mention you in their story on Instagram, especially with the demographic, and you miss it, maybe 24 hours is forgivable, but a week is probably not. You just lost that customer, because it's kind of rude as well, or disrespectful. Some people think so. It's like, oh, I spent the time, and they didn't even say thank you. So this is great. So because of the giveaway, again, going back there, they mentioned the story, the story mentions you, then it is automatic then, and just say, look, simple conversation. You trigger the conversation, the DM automation within Instagram, and say, hey, Jam, thanks for mentioning us on Instagram, et cetera, and we'd love to have your feedback, your personal feedback on how the tea is, or anything for that matter about the other products we've got, if you've tried them as well. So it's generic enough, but it's also personalized. And you can then, you'll see that the users will then resonate and they will answer, even if it's one or two. So you're still continuing the conversation, which is great. So if you've noticed, I've gone through those 3 stages, and because I've got those objectives, people will tend to talk to you and they will not block you. I just want to make that clear. The reason people block the chatbots or those automated things on Messenger and DMs is because if you just send them stuff that they don't want and pushing them some messages that is not relevant, then you will definitely have people hating chatbots and don't like it and they think it's spam, right? Okay, another suggestion here that you can do is a conversation starter. It's called a conversation starter in Instagram, wherein it's your first time to go and DM a business on Instagram. What happens is that instead of just your comments, that box for you to start typing, is you will actually see some buttons which are called conversation starters. So this is a trigger wherein you can put FAQs there, you can put pricing and shipping. This is great because that's when this stage people are really interested in getting a chocolate tea, or they found something that's good in your product list, for example. This is also a good time to put a product quiz, wherein to help them choose the right tea. Let's pretend you've got different other teas, and because of the personality or different brands of chocolate tea, then you can say, hey, do you want my digital assistant to actually tell you, or not tell you, but recommend which tea is best for you based on your personality? You can put that in. Those things are really great within this stage because the expectation is, well, I really want to know more so that I'm ready and I have the intention to buy. So lastly, which is our favorite as business owners, is the conversion and of course retention. Retention, I will come back to that later, but I just want to say is this is a gold mine, retention, but a lot of business owners are always focused on the top of the funnel, as they say, which is acquisition and so on and so forth. But the gold mine is retention. So let's go to conversion. How do you use chat marketing then? So believe it or not, you can, for example, with Stripe, there are other tools there to do chat marketing within Messenger and IG, Instagram, is you can have the product quiz there. Same thing, because what that means, it leads them to actually buy once you recommend the tea and say, hey, great, this is the tea. Do you want to buy a pack or 2? And you don't have to bring them to your website. You can set up your e-commerce quite easily, to be honest, within Messenger. Because why do you have to bring them out? They're already there. They're hot. They're ready to go. I want to buy your tea. Make it easy for me. So you can have your conversation flow set up now, and then there's a buy button there, and then they can buy from Messenger, and then you get transactions to say, hey, thanks, Jam. We've got your order, etc. We will then ship it to you soon, yada, yada, right? So that's where the order flow is. The retention is where you can then ask for feedback. This is where there's an order status, right? Some people might say, hey, I really want to get the tea. And then post, there's still a delay because it's lockdown. When am I going to receive it, etc. So you can also create conversation flows around that. Facebook and Instagram, just to put it as a sidebar, have some rules and policies in place. But when it comes to order status, etc., they're pretty lenient because they know people would want to converse with the brand because they want to know what my orders are, right? And of course, you can use, again, the IG story if you're an Instagram mention to say when you receive your order, hey, please mention us, then they would do so. And then you can include that in your conversation flow. So the next step there is you've got your journey in place. So it's long-term. You set and forget, so to speak, and you tweak as you go. So that gives you back the time, right, to focus on getting the orders, etc. So that's a time you can scale, rinse and repeat, as they say, right? Through chat marketing. You can replicate that with your other products, not just chocolate tea, or you can replicate it with another business if you've got more than one. I will stop there again if there are any questions, because the next one is another, it's actually one of my favorite examples. If there are any authors in, or, you know, some people who would like to start a book. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Look, we have a range of businesses that kind of watch these sessions. It always amazes me, the people that tune in. We once had people tuning in who have an alpaca farm. It was really cool to hear that that's somebody's job, or that's what they do for a living. Yeah, I'm just monitoring these, Jem. As the questions come in, you'll see me just pop my face in and be like, hello. So I would say just keep rolling and let people just keep listening, and don't worry about like the time at the end. We you know, we don't have to finish at a certain time. We're real organic in that way. So just the thing that says I'm starting a home staging company. Oh, cool. So like for mortgage, like if somebody's selling a home and they need to stage their home. Okay, well, there you go. There's a bit business right there.
Yeah. So was there a question around that?
I guess like just your question about being, people are just letting you know what business they're running, and perhaps you have some advice for them.
Cool. Home staging, this is interesting. Let me just go back, because I had, he's in my ex now, but my ex-partner used to be in real estate, and he had, you know, he coordinates with home staging companies, right? So let me just double check. And it's interesting because at that point, when there were open homes and he had several properties, I was just standing there and trying to say, okay, please put your phone numbers, etc. Now, home staging, I need more information, but.
So it says yes, or just wanting their home restyled. I'm offering a service more than a product that you order. So I guess here the focus is if you offer a service instead of a product, you know, how do we apply these kind of things?
So go back to the journey, right? I'm not familiar with the journey that your customers or audience actually goes through home staging. That's why I need a little bit more information. If we go back to awareness, I mean, you can, again, the most popular way of doing chat marketing is if you are willing to do that ad, messenger ad, then grab them into that conversation and give them generic info, someone like me, for example, on what home staging is actually all about. And then from there, you go on to the next stage. Not necessarily a giveaway or competition, but maybe the next step. It would be great if you can give me more information. Let me think. If you have, okay, service in general. I just remembered one of our clients before. He's into gutters. I think he repairs gutters and stuff. This was ages ago. What you can do with chat marketing is that he created, so we started the messenger ad, and from the messenger ad, it's as simple as, do you want more information? And when they say yes, great. And then the next one, the next conversation flow is, do you want a quote? And that's when his leads actually increased, is because there was another channel. So I don't know if at some point in home staging is that people would actually, I'm sure they will, it's like, hey, I'm actually really interested in getting a quote. Yes, exactly, on your services. So you can do that through chat marketing.
Okay, that's really cool. It says you mentioned completing the sale in Messenger rather than click through to the website checkout. How is this done? Great question.
There is a tool. Well, the most popular ones is ManyChat. There's Chat Fuel. There's Mobile Monkey. There's a lot.
Let's drop some of those into the chat. Can you say those just a little bit slower?
Sure. ManyChat. So ManyChat. Second is Chat Fuel.
Okay.
FUEL. There's Mobile Monkey.
Okay.
Um,
And I'll go and
there are
find these
more.
after we've got them listed. What's another one? Was that it or?
The top of my head, yes.
No, that's perfect. I just
there are
wasn't
more.
sure how many, because you were like, doo, 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 doo. I wasn't sure how many there were. I'm going to go find those in the back, guys. I'll find them, find the web addresses so that you can have a look at yourself, but you could have a chat about that or continue on. I'll be back.
Yep. Yeah, no, cool. Just to answer that question, these tools will allow you to connect PayPal and or Stripe. So obviously those are the top two payment gateways. And it's very easy, as long as you connect it, and then there is going to be a button when you create your flows. It's like a flow chart pretty much. And then just say, hey, I want this to be a buy button. You set up the products in there, and then when they click on it, goes through Stripe, and then the next thing you know, you receive the payment and so on and so forth, and the order is done. That's how it's done. Yeah. Cool. I'm just going through the house doesn't look good as it could. Yes, they do want a quote up front. So yes, you can, it's wood J. So you can actually use that because that has been very successful for one of our clients. And it was a very simple conversation flow wherein messenger ad, if you're interested for a quote, please. And then we ask for their email address, obviously. And there was even a conversation flow. It's more like a quiz. So they qualify the leads. So here's question 1, question 2, where are you located? What's the gutter? And so on and so forth. So for you, you know what those questions are. Ask them simply. You get all the information. And then from there, whether you can do it automatically or not, you can actually do calculations within a conversation flow within Messenger or Instagram, and that cuts up your time if it's as simple as that. Now, if there is some human interaction because you need to do it yourself, that's fine as well. So I hope that kind of helps give you some kind of, yep, cool. Okay, moving along. Thanks, guys. Keep the questions going. I love this. For those who, okay, this is where this is supposed to be a video. This is ages ago, but I just wanted to show this because this is one of my favorite ways or examples that you can use chat marketing. So if you are a public speaker or you have a book that you'd want to market and so on, what James Patterson did, okay, is actually, well, the whole book was on Messenger. What they did is they put the whole book into Messenger. But in terms of marketing, you don't have to build the whole book there. You can just have excerpts. You know, when you go to Amazon and you buy some books or let's say Kindle, and then there's that area wherein, well, can you just show me what's inside the book? So it's a sneak peek. So instead of it as a static page, for example, or maybe you're doing it through email, why not grab them and say, hey, look, I'll give you an excerpt, and it's more interactive. It's actually exciting. Let me just play the video. I doubt it you'll hear the sound. Can you hear the sound? Anamari?
Hold on, sorry, just still getting all those answers in there.
Probably
no,
not.
I cannot hear the sound.
Okay, so this is their obviously marketing videos to get them in, but what happens is it's very interactive. So they put videos into Messenger so that people would actually be involved in it, and then they put audio as well. So this could be an excerpt, and then you've got emojis going, and this is a thriller, by the way. And then they show certain, okay, which part of the chapter you want to skip. So it's more interactive than more linear. And you can do that through Messenger. So this was years back. So yeah.
So we just have a kind of a follow-up question. Maybe you addressed it while I was jumping back and forth. And it says, what about online banking or apps like GenoPay, Zip, Afterpay? These are important payment options for my type of clients.
I am not sure if they can be integrated at this point. There are ways. That's where you have to unfortunately go and have more resources to integrate it. So the chat fuel mobile monkey, that's more for the small to medium sized businesses. But if you want to go a little bit higher and integrate others, then you have to use different tools. Okay. This is where AI comes in. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you could do a little bit of investigating on that. You could also contact support. They might do some investigating for you. And then just a comment, oh my God, such a great idea. Thinking blogs, tutorials, sneak peeks into group events. Love it. Yeah.
Yes, cool. Yes. You know, my dream client is, to be honest, is an author, or actually, you know, those choose your adventure type of books. Yeah, I love them. I'm such a fan. So it's perfect for Messenger because you can put a paywall. You can charge for this if you want. You can go, hey, this is chapter 1. You buy, book number 1 on chapter 1. Well, yeah, actually, you can do that to chapter 1. And then if you want to get on and get the next chapter, then just pay $1 and so on and so forth. So it's more interactive. So what's great about this, you've got great engagement on one-on-one basis, and then they're all in Messenger. So yeah, so that's just another example. Cool. Okay. I think this is the last, but chatbot per bot, they'll put that in. Personality. This is another huge, well, not really huge, but kind of a debate within the industry, so to speak. And I've got clients cringing. I was like, do I have to even worry about that? Well, there is sort of one factor to decide whether you want to put a mascot or your digital representative. Because I'm sure if you fly Air New Zealand, you've met Oscar, right? If you fly Jetstar, you have Jess and so on. These are obviously AI, and that's another story. I'm sure the AI experts can talk more about that. But for small businesses, you can actually put a personality behind your chat marketing or your chat bots. Okay. Let me just make sure I am okay. So for personalities, the rule of thumb is, the question is, do I have to have a personality in my chat marketing? Goes back to branding and objective. If you're a solopreneur and you are the face of the business, then it makes sense just to have the same tone and voice when you create your conversation flows. You don't necessarily have to create a personality. It's you who's talking, right? Because it's kind of weird. It's just, you have to set the expectation, whoever is talking to your digital assistant or to you, that it is automated, because we've had several times based on experience where they go, oh my God, it's so engaging. And you've been chatting with an assistant and they find out at the end, oh my God, it's not you. Yeah, that was a funny story because she said, oh my God, Jam, my assistant was talking to a few people and they messaged me again and say, hey, I thought it was you. It was actually an automated assistant. So it's how good the conversation flow goes, because we capture the tone and, you know, the voice of the solopreneur. If you're a bigger business, then yes, it would be good. And it would be recommended to have a separate entity. Again, going back to the Air New Zealand's and stuff, they're bigger. But I think Squirrel has, I forget if they've got a name for their Squirrel chatbot on their website. But if you're a bigger business, then yes, have a separate personality to emulate your organization's brand and culture. Now, this is Ollie, just mindful of the time as well. Our own chatbot personality. You'll see him in our messenger. Our messenger conversation flows have to be updated, to be honest. But he is basically, the objective for Ollie is really just a guide. He's a guide for our users to know more about our services, because we do have services and so on. And what happens is that we then have a human takeover. He's quite cheeky, and we put a little humor in it, etc. If you're interested, I can send the link later at the chat. But we do need to update Ollie. We haven't had the time because we've really been focused on our clients, especially now. This is my favorite example, agenda. This was 2019. This is very short term because it's for a conference. So if anyone here is an event organizer, so what we did is the social media conference in 2019 by Toba. So the objective for Agenda was during the conference, instead of having a separate app or just pieces of paper, what the agenda is and so forth, that's why Agenda, we created Agenda to be the conference assistant. So as soon so there's 2 days, I think, yeah, it's 2 days. So day one, when people register in the morning, we triggered Agenda, obviously, and explained what Agenda would do if they're open to it. So it's all opt-in permission, obviously. If they weren't interested, then they don't scan the QR code, or we give them a link. Once it's done, Agenda starts out and saying, hey, welcome to the conference. Coffee is here. Morning break is going to be this time, etc., etc. What would you want to do next, right? Even bathroom and yeah, where the toilets are, etc., etc. So she helped attendees know the schedule, greeted them in the mornings each day, and morning breaks. And what's awesome here that was valuable for the organizer was, she said, the hardest part in any conference is to get feedback from the attendees. I know that. I can resonate. Oh my gosh, even surveys, right? We all know that it's very, very hard to get feedback from anyone, for that matter, unless you're giving out an iPad or something, right? And we wanted to make it simple for everyone, because we don't expect people, because people are going through each and every session. So there's separate tracks, right, that they're interested in. So they tap and key and say, hey, Agenda, I'm interested in this track. So every session she would go, okay, hey, go to room 12 or whatever at 10:20. There's a reminder, hey, Jam, in 5 minutes, you have to go in, it's starting. So it reminds them. And then what happens after the session, so this is timed, as soon as it's done, it then asks, hey, Agenda here, just back. Jam, how was your session with Anamari, for example? And there was just a 5-star thing. Speaker, 1 to 5 star, simple, done. What do you think of the topic? Done. And that's it. There is an option to give more comments, but normally people won't. So we wanted to keep it simple. And it was awesome because it was very fresh in their brains. It wasn't really a nuisance for them. They were walking, and you're going to be waiting again, right? You're going to the next room, and while you're waiting for the speaker to start, Agenda's already, hey, psst. Even those little personalities, quirks, psst, can I just ask, by the way, how you found Jam session earlier or whatever, or Anamari session, and so on. So all that data at the end of the conference was fed back to the organizer, and they had more survey feedbacks. Oh gosh, this is interesting. Even the top question that was asked during day one before day two, my team and I were working through the night before the next day to create an additional conversation flow to tell people where the bar is and if they're gonna serve alcohol. So it's like that, a lot of people, so we had to create a simple conversation. So day two, there was then an option here. It's like, hey, welcome back to the conference, Agenda here. By the way, a lot of you have been asking about beer and wine, etc. Here's more information, and this is when we're going to offer it. So it was perfect because there was sort of like an after party or after conference session where alcohol was obviously going to be served. So, okay, so that's my favorite story in regards to that. And this is just a snapshot of the feedback that we got, because during that time I did ask for specific feedback from some people through their group, their private group, and they actually loved Genda. So that was a win for us. I was very proud of that. So in kind of closing, it's not just for Facebook and Messenger. There are some people who would prefer having on their website, and you can do that for sure. For example, you still want Messenger, and then you can actually attach or install, I should say, a little code on your website. So instead of the usual website chat, when they start chatting with you, it will go back to Messenger. But you can also have chat marketing embedded onto a page itself. And this is an example. So I'm not so sure if I'm just going to switch here. Oops. And move this. I'm going to just pause my sharing. But I wanted to just show you. So this is what happens with Zoom, right? Okay. The Zoom sharing. I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So this is just an example of an embedded. This is by landbot.io. So hopefully you can see that. You can check them out. But there is an option here wherein you can literally, instead of a landing page where you've got text or a page, you can have chat done or embedded into the page itself. So in this case, this is just an example. And you can put the logo, obviously your own logo there. And then you can grab the information. And then these are services, for example, right? Let's see, who tweet, for example. And then so on and so forth. So like this one is a little longer in terms of conversation flow. It gives you more information, and the delays, etc. It gives you, yeah. So the point is you can not just create those in social media, but if you prefer to do it on your web page and make it a little bit different, if it's relevant to your business, then you can also do this through landbot.io. So you can check them out. Cool, and hopefully you can, that's it. So that's me. And maybe I'll just tell my offer for the Digital Boost members.
Yeah, that'd be
later.
great. Thanks.
Oh, okay, good. So I am actually going to open up a group session wherein it's sort of like a little workshop, but I just more of a step-by-step guide live, and it's for free. So for Digital Boost members, if you're interested, just email me or connect on LinkedIn, and then I'll give you the schedule. So what I'll do is I will help you build just the basic Facebook or Instagram automation. So by the time after that hour or two, you then leave that session with something, not just you watching a video or listening to me talk. It's actually working on it. So I'll be there as a guide. And then from there, you can obviously expand it and do more with your chat marketing assistance. So that's it. And Amari,
awesome.
over to you.
Thank you so much, Jam. That's awesome. Yeah. There's a couple of things here. So one says, I present professional development sessions online. The conference bot, could it work in Teams or Zoom, the conference bot?
No, I don't think so. No, that's it's not going to work within Zoom if that's what you're asking. It's going to still be separate. You can still create conversation flows around it, but they have to get out of Zoom and interact with you through Messenger. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if, Dean, I'm wondering if there is an integration in Teams that they kind of have for something like that, because they do have a lot of capability, not so much in Zoom, but in Teams, there's a lot of app integration because it is like a collaborative platform. And I'd be interested to know if there was something that you could integrate to give a similar kind of feel in Teams. We had a lady on named Andrea from from Microsoft. Well, she did a session on Teams, and there was lots of tools. So maybe have a look into that.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. And oh no, you don't have to.
No, I'm quite interested actually.
Yeah,
I'm quite interested. I would
Hmm.
love to know because
I'm just wondering if there might
integrations.
be
Yeah.
one, because they do integrate with so many other apps. So, and then a kind of a comment question. I'd like to learn how to create good conversation flows. Could you do another session on this, or can you recommend something to help with this? So I guess you might be able to just take advantage of this offer. That might be like the first step. But that is a good question. I guess like understanding a customer's journey is a skill in itself, isn't it? Like being able to plan from the moment of that first communication all the way through, and the experience that you want to maintain throughout is a skill, and it's something that we do have to learn. So what's your comment on that, Jam?
Yep. There's a term for it in the industry. It's called conversational design.
Hmm.
So exactly, perfect, Anamari. It's learning how and understanding your customer journey first, and then obviously based on the data you've got. And when I say data, meaning the the questions, if you've got customer support questions, or what the sales team experience is like, and so on. So you grab all of that and put it in, because that's a
Yeah.
good starting point.
Yeah,
Then
like
you
your
create.
FAQs and your, like all of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you gather, you
Yeah.
can continue to build. Yeah. Oh, that'd be really cool to learn how
Um,
to do that. Like this
yeah,
chat
yeah, yeah.
automation. Yeah. You're
Exactly.
very welcome.
But
Naomi.
contact me and stuff and see. And I don't know, Anamari, if that's another session that we could do probably through Digital Boost. We'll talk offline about that
Yeah,
if
we'll
that's
talk about
something.
offline. And I see that Dean's dropped in like a little link there. I can't copy paste it because it's in the chat, but oh, I know what I can do. I can click on it and then I can paste it. So that's how I'll do it. But basically, thanks for that.
Ooh,
He's gone
thank
and
you.
found a link there. So it's basically, oh, you're pulling it up. Fantastic. So yeah, publication add bot to Microsoft Teams. So there you go. I thought they might have something, just because it is that kind of a collaborative kind of, you can use it for lots of different things. So that's a cool thing to know if you
Oh,
use Teams.
thank you. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
there you
look into
go.
that for
Look,
sure.
we all learn together here on Digital Boost Jam. We're like a total funnel. So really cool. I'm just going to jump to the other platform and just make sure I haven't left anybody's questions hanging out there. Now, just so that you know, no matter what platform you're streaming from, I have actually added all the links to those things that Jem had mentioned, and I will add this link that, thank you, Dean has also provided us with, and I'll add those all in there. And I guess that looks like that's kind of us for today. I just want to thank you again for that really generous offer. Take advantage of it, folks. Like, who doesn't want to have a little bit of extra support? That would be fantastic, to really get that support on how to set it up, because we get this knowledge and then sometimes we get a little bit lost going, oh, okay, that was cool, but I don't know what to do now. So here's your opportunity to do that now.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
and
I love the application, because and again, I'm a trainer at heart, so I love to guide people to go, okay, but not just teach like this, but really like, okay, let's do the work now. Let's see how it
yeah,
goes. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I'm gonna pop
yeah.
this in too, because I'm not sure if everybody can see it, but Dean also found one for Zoom. So
I love Dean.
chatbot app. Dean, you rock star. So yeah, I maybe I should say that. I don't know how that works in here. So brilliant session, learned a lot, and much food for thought. Cheers, Lara. Thanks, Lara. Um, Thanks everyone for joining us today. We've had a wonderful session today, and we'll see you all again. Hopefully tomorrow you guys can tune in. I always like to do a little double check on what we have coming up on the next session. So hold on one sec. My computer is working a little bit slowly. My apologies. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, computer. It's going to be okay. Okay. Oh, customer identification and targeting with Jara and Lisa from Zeal. Their sessions are always really informative. So I think you really will enjoy it. If you want there, that actually helps you with this kind of realm as well. So everything's tying together this week. I'll tell you, Jam, it's a really good week. So thanks again, James, from Conversologie, the coolest business name that exists. And I have to say,
Thank
like
you.
Jam and Conversologie, like, you know, last week I had on Greer Steel, and I was like, coolest name you could be born with, Greer Steel. And now we've got Conversologie, Jam from Conversologie. I mean, like, you know, I need to up my game, my name game. What were my parents doing? Yeah. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Ka kite, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Book us in with your morning tea. Thanks, Jam. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
My pleasure. If I can figure out how to turn this off. What's happening? Why won't you turn it off? Oh, there we go. Oh, we forgot to get that. Looks like I'm going to have to exit, folks, because it's not allowing me to leave the live stream. See you tomorrow. If you need anything, contact support at doodleboost.co.nz. Thanks, Dean, for those links. Really appreciate it, mate. See ya.